Yo, homies. Alright, guys, today we're going to be doing something a bit different than what we normally do. As you may know, I am a big Star Wars fan. And at the moment, a hot topic is the Book of Boba Fett TV show. The finale has dropped, and, well, there's a lot of mixed reactions on it. And as a fan, I thought I'd put my input in there just for fun. Now, I didn't really feel like editing, so there's probably just gonna be game footage in the background while I talk. And also, there's timestamps in the description if you only wanted to see a specific part of my opinion on it, so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you want to. And with that, let's get right into the first part. Episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. I'm gonna be honest. It was just a tad bit underwhelming. However, overall, a very good episode. I did very much enjoy it. I'm just hoping for a little bit more. There's a few problems I have with it. And those being, actually, there's really only one problem. Is he kind of just got beaten up by those assassins kind of easy. And now I get when he gets beaten up in the flashbacks. That makes perfect sense to me. He just got out of Sarlacc pit, hasn't had food or water in days. That makes perfect sense to me. However, this is right after he beat up those stormtroopers like a psychopath in The Mandalorian season 2. So why isn't he like that in this too? It's fine. I'll let it slide. And speaking of which, the flashbacks. Those are probably the best part of this episode. They are really good. I have no complaints about the flashbacks except for the weird four-armed thing they fought looked like a Pokemon. However, that's not really a complaint. That's just a statement. Um, yeah, overall, a pretty decent episode. I feel like he shouldn't have been beaten up that easily, but it is pretty good. The Tuskens are getting a lot of shine. They're looking pretty good, and I'm happy that they are getting the love that they deserve. I don't know if they deserve it, but maybe it's a bit of a step up from being slaughtered, not just the men, but the women and the children too. So it's a step up from that. Also, like the Gamorreans in it, they were pretty cool. Probably should be given blasters instead of melee weapons, but whatever. That'll be certainly a conversation for the next one. But on to episode 2. This episode was by far better than the first. Um, we saw so many cool scenes. Once again, the flashbacks taking the lead from there. It was insanely cool to see him interacting with the Tuskens, and then even the Pike Syndicate, which was definitely not something I expected going into the show. Seeing the Pikes, it didn't even cross my mind, which I'm definitely not complaining. They were definitely cool characters, and of course we got the meme from it.
Like a bantha. Yes?
Uh, I'm still at this moment in time still not 100% sure on the main storyline going on. Of course, it gets better in later episodes. Definitely not the next one. Um, it's interesting to see Jabba's twins, which are way too close for them being cousins or twins. Like, get away from each other, please. Anyway, we see Chrysanthemum, which is a cool character. I never read any of the comics, so I didn't know who he was. I'm sorry. Um, but overall, really good episode. Better than the first one. Now for the third one. Episode 3. Now, this is probably the worst one in the series. Let's be honest. The Really the only part I liked about was the flashback when all the Tuskens were dead. That was actually really emotional scene. It was pretty good. I liked it, but that's all I can say good about it, if I'm being honest. Oh, also the Rain Corps. That was pretty cool. It just makes the poor Rain Corps keeper in Return of the Jedi that much more sad. Poor guy. Um, but yeah, that's really all I can say good about that episode. Now some of the bad stuff about it. The Huts. They just left, and we never see them again. Why were they in it in the first place then? Like, they were they were just a stand-in for the Pikes. They served no purpose except to give them a Rain Corps. But oh well. Um, Now, the, the thing you've all been waiting for, the mods, or Power Rangers, if you could call them that, they're interesting. Now, at first I was optimistic. They don't fit in Tatooine at all. However, Star Wars is a giant galaxy. Just because they're on Tatooine now doesn't mean they were always there. They could have been from Coruscant. Like, for example, Padme's ship, that didn't belong on Tatooine. However, we accepted it because we knew it was from Naboo. So that was fine. However, I didn't think it was a problem at the beginning. However, they immediately retcon that in the next few episodes by the parlor of where they get done being on Tatooine and the main girl saying she grew up on Tatooine. So that immediately ruined my theory. It just made him worse. Um, so much for that. They're okay, I guess. Nah, they just don't. It doesn't make sense why they're on Tatooine. Once again, it would have been fine if they were just on Tatooine. However, then they made him from Tatooine, and that's where the problem was. Now, the speeder chase. Why was it going at 3 miles per hour? Why? I don't. There just doesn't seem a reason. Their budget was high enough. They had the money to make it look good. They have that later in the episode, unless they spent it all on the next 3 episodes or 4 episodes. I mean, that could be it. They probably just spent it all in the next upcoming episodes and couldn't afford it for this one. Overall, it's just kind of a weak episode. There are some good parts. Chrysanthemum through Boba Fett, I guess. That was okay. But, yeah, it was okay. On episode 4. Episode 4. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I think episode 4 is actually I don't think it gets the respect it deserves, mainly because it's overshadowed by the next 3 episodes. But I think episode 4 was really good. I really liked it. It was mostly a flashback episode, and the whole thing was amazing. Um, Boba goes and saves Fennec Shand, and then we see the moment we've been waiting for. He guns down those Nikto speed bikers. It was really cool. That's what we needed from Boba. Uh, just his mercilessness. He didn't like those Niktos, so he killed them all. We learn out later they're innocent, but it was still cool. Also, we saw a seismic charge, so that's always a win in my book. Who doesn't like seismic charges? Now the main storyline is picking up a little bit. They talk to the crime families, which is pretty cool. They're like, "Yeah, bro, we got your back." They don't have his back. Um, and we hear the Mando theme song at the end when she's like, "Money can buy muscle, bro. I think you would know that since you were a bounty hunter. You were literally hired muscle before. I'm just saying. Come on." But I thought it was a really good episode. Uh, they address that. Even Fennec says that the Tuscans made him weak, and I actually have something to say about that. Everyone's saying that Boba is being too weak, and now he's an amazing fighter. He should beat up people with ease. I agree with that. However, people are saying he's being too nice to everyone. Disregarding the books and comics, as some of them are canon. However, as Disney has said, the shows and movies override them. So if they need to be changed, they will. In the actual TVs and movies, think about the Clone Wars. Boba wasn't a mean dude. That was Jango Fett was the mean guy who had no chill and just he did what he wanted. Boba was also more of a loyal man. That's just my opinion. You can all disagree with it if you want to. But I'm just saying, I mean, in the Clone Wars, Boba was more chill like he is now. So I'm just saying, in my opinion, his character's not too far off. Now, he should be able to beat up people with ease. I'm not saying that he's a weak fighter. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he will show mercy sometimes, unless he kills his Tuscan family. Um, yeah, so that's my opinion on that. Now, I have a slight complaint for it, and it's in the flashbacks, which I normally won't talk bad about the flashbacks since they're so good. My slight complaint is in this flashback, we learn that they've taken place over 5 years. I just think they did kind of a bad job at showing that it took place over 5 years. Like it looks like I was like maybe this is a couple weeks, but apparently the whole from the first flashback to this one, it's been 5 years. That makes more sense for the story, of course. However, I just think they could have showed it a little bit better. But that's my only complaint. Also, I found it funny that I'm just saying that in that episode, Boba Fett was saying there's an advantage to people thinking you are dead. However, in the exact same episode, he grabs his poor little droid by the neck. He's like, "Do you know who I am? I am Boba Fett." Like, I mean, you just said there was an advantage to think you're dead, and now you're announcing your name for everyone. But whatever. That's my opinion. That's really the only thing I can say bad about this episode. It was really good in my opinion. Uh, Now on to episode 5. The Book of Din Djarin. No, this episode doesn't even have Boba Fett in him. However, it's a really good episode. We see Din Djarin handling the dark saber, which is very cool, very flashy. And it's cool to see that he's struggling with it. He's not instantly a master at it, which wouldn't really make sense if he was. Um, One strange thing is it apparently is heavy. However, that lines up with what Sabine said in Rebels, so apparently it's canon. The dark saber is heavy if you don't like it or something. I don't know. I think it's cool to see all these characters again. The armorer, Paz Vizsla. Cool to see any Vizsla. Let's be honest. And it's cool just to see Mando again. It's interesting that he's making the thing for Grogu. And then he goes to Tatooine to see um, the lady, the robot lady. Not she's not a robot, but she has robots. I forgot her name. Was it Pelly? Maybe it was Pelly. I don't know. And she has made him a Naboo starfighter, which is pretty cool in my opinion. I mean, who doesn't want a Naboo starfighter? Um, and yeah, this episode's it's pretty cool just to see Din and everyone again. However, I've just two little problems. Number one, the Naboo starfighter is amazing. Let's be honest, it's cool. However, Din's a bounty hunter and he lives in his ship. I don't know if a one-man starfighter is gonna help that much with his profession. I'm just saying, but whatever. You do you, man. And my second problem is this is the Book of Boba Fett. Like, where's Boba? We even only see Fennec more than Boba. Like, I'm just saying, it was a really cool episode. However, where's Boba? And you'll see that same trend in the next one. So let's get into it. Episode 6. Episode 6 is honestly one of the best things of Star Wars we have. It's just really amazing. Honestly, it's taken a turn where I did not expect. I did not think we would see Luke or Grogu in this at all, or Ahsoka. Yeah, we got all three in one episode, and it was just insane. It was one thing after another. Um, and honestly, it's made me. I haven't said this, of course. I did not like the Luke scene in The Mandalorian. I know, unpopular opinion. I didn't really like it. One, he looked weird, which they definitely improved on in this one. And two, I just felt like it wasn't the Mandalorian episode, and it kind of just felt wrong for Luke to be there. I didn't like that much. However, this episode has certainly changed my mind because Luke was amazing in this. It was basically like watching the original trilogy again. It was amazing to see him teach, and it was really good. To see Ahsoka and Luke interacting is something I never thought we would see, but here we are. That was certainly amazing. Grogu struggling with it. I was kind of mad that Ahsoka wouldn't let Din go see Grogu, but whatever. Be a Jedi like that. I mean, I'm just saying you were the one who said I'm no Jedi, but whatever. Honestly, it was really cool, and really was just it was memorable. It brought all this nostalgia back, and that's not it. We see good old Cobb Vanth here, uh, and guess what? We see Boba Fett in it. Oh, what? He's in this one for a scene. We'll talk about that in a second. However, we're not done yet. We go and see Cobb Vanth again. He's an awesome character, but he thought that was cool. Cad Bane. He strolls up and shoots him. Just shoots Vanth in the shoulder. Is he dead? Maybe. He's not. We see in the next episode he's not. He's fine. And honestly, that was just a really cool scene. Some people didn't like how Cad Bane looked. I thought he was fine. I thought he looked fine for a live action Duro. But I thought it was amazing. This is the second TV series in a row where he just shows up, shoots a main character, and pieces out. No questions asked. He just does that. That's just how Cad Bane rolls. I thought it was a really cool scene. Uh, it made perfect sense to me that Cobb Vanth would lose on the duel to him. Uh, I think if the deputy wasn't there, Cobb Vanth maybe could have gotten a shot off like Hunter did. However, he still wouldn't have won. Let's be honest. Cad Bane is just too good. Um, and yeah, this was just overall a really good episode. However, I have one problem with it. You know what that problem is? It's the same problem in the last episode. Where's Boba? This is the Book of Boba Fett. He was in one scene, which I'm gonna be honest is kind of what he likes to do. He showed up for one scene and just be menacing there. However, it's the Book of Boba Fett. Come on, where's Boba? But overall, this episode was really amazing. I loved it. My only problem was Boba wasn't in it. And yeah, let's get into the finale. We got a lot to say about that. Episode 7, the finale of Boba Fett. Now, I want to say this is my. See, I have a problem. Is this the best episode or is episode 6 the best episode? I'd say over Star Wars in general, episode 6 is better. However, for the book of Boba Fett, 7 is definitely better because it has Boba Fett in it. I'm just saying. For the actual series, 7 is better. There we go. I said it. This is really cool. I did not expect Grogu to be in it. I'm going to be honest. I did not expect that. However, I'm happy Luke wasn't in it. That would have just overcrowded things and just made some weird. But we finally get to see Boba just beat people up with Din as well. They just go full Mando mode and just lay everyone out. Just all of them. And the Rancor too. He crushes everyone. He just destroys them. And we just see so many cool things. We see the end of Cad Bane, which is sad, and some people didn't like it. I love the Cad Bane ending. I think it was perfect for his character. Now, people wish he wasn't dead. He might not be with the beeping thing. I kind of hope he is dead. Now, here's my reason for hoping he's dead. He's an amazing character, don't get me wrong. However, he's 71 years old in the Book of Boba Fett. If you look it up, a Duros, which is the species, lives for around 80. Now, like, he's gonna die soon. I'm just saying. So, would you rather see Cad Bane go out epically fighting Boba Fett, which, in my opinion, is the only person who can kill Cad Bane? Like, rightfully? Like, of course, a Jedi could probably kill him. However, wouldn't it's not aesthetically pleasing as Boba Fett killing him. I think that's the only way for it to be really meaningful is Boba ending Cad Bane. Or would you go watch him die of old age? He had to die soon, and I think this is the perfect way for them to end his character. Now, I hope we see more of him in earlier seasons like Obi-Wan Kenobi. We could see him in there. Bad Batch Season 2, I hope we see him in there. However, I think this is the end for his current character line. We won't be seeing him in the timeline after the Book of Boba Fett. And at least in my opinion, once again, his chest thing was beeping. We might see him again. Who knows? Now, what else do we got in this episode? Um, we got the mod guy spinning, but I'm sure you've all seen that. Why did you spin? Why? There was no point in spinning. Unless um but anyway, now I'm gonna do some closing remarks on my view of the series as a whole. It started off kind of rough, however, I think it definitely picked up. Is it as good as The Mandalorian? No. In my opinion, it is not as good as The Mandalorian. And honestly, I kind of wish it. I was hoping it would have been because Boba Fett's cool, but it carried on with The Mandalorian too much. It relied on Din being there in 2 of the episodes. Also, and to fix that problem, I love the Luke scene. I've already expressed how much I loved Luke in it. It was all the nostalgia I wanted. but they could have saved that for the Mandalorian season 3. They could have saved it for then. I was fine with the Mando being here. However, I think it could have skipped the Luke part, and because now we're kind of back before the finale of season 2, which once again I didn't like the season 2 finale of the Mandalorian. It was cool, but I didn't like the ending of it, which is a very unpopular opinion. So please don't hurt me for that. But yeah, overall, I like the series. I'd give it a 7 or 8 out of 10, but probably a 7 out of 10. It was There were some parts that I really liked. Cad Bane was amazing in it. I don't think he deserved any better ending. That was perfect for him. I think I'm happy they didn't do just um, a duel with him fighting Boba and losing, because that doesn't really make sense for him to lose a duel. However, they lost like this, and I think that was perfect for him. That was the best way to end Cad's character. Um, Now, I'm just interested to see what we see next. What's going to happen in Mando season 3? I figured it would be like the stuff we saw here, but now Grogu's back with Din. So, what are we going to see in there? When is season 3? Come on, can we have season 3 yet? But I think it was a good. I think it was a good series to fill in the gaps for other series, which I think it deserved better. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Now, my theory for the ending of it, I think Boba and Fennec are going to not stay the leader of Tatooine. Now, does this make this season, pointless? Yes. However, like you heard him, they're not cut out for it. And I think, like the end credit scene is promoting, I think this is setting up for Cobb Vanth the Marshal to be the new leader of Tatooine. And I think there's no better man for the job. I'm happy he's still alive, interested to see what the mods are doing with him. I still don't know how to feel about those mods. But I think he'd be a perfect leader for Tatooine. But I think it ended off perfectly. I loved the season finale. I really didn't have any problems with it. Like, honestly, the only thing is maybe Grogu shouldn't have been there, but I also wasn't complaining because he's adorable. But overall, really good series. We saw some epic stuff in the finale. I wish the series was better, but it wasn't bad. It certainly was not bad. But anyway, that's all I have for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.